What up, y'all? It's your guy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Everybody who's donated, those of you all who will. Also, go over to my other YouTube channel, Dawson Speaks TV. Make sure you subscribe over there and click that notification bell so you get notifications when I drop a new video. Now, let's get into this topic. All right, now my subscribers have been provoking me to do a story on Pastor John Gray and all of the stuff that has taken place with him in the past couple of years, and then the stuff that took place last month with him coming out having to apologize to his church and again to his wife and things for alleged cheating or whatnot. And I didn't want to touch the issue because, and a lot of people were telling me, are you afraid to touch the issue and to talk about the John Gray? You've never said anything. And some people went in as far as to say, are you being paid or people pay? And it's like, no, guys, come on, y'all, trust me, I'm not like these other people. No, that's not happening. The truth is, I never took John Gray as a pastor or a preacher. That's just me. I don't do the whole I'm a comedian, I'm a preacher, and I think the only two people who I kind of like who do that are Kev on stage, who's also on YouTube, and I think Kev is a preacher as well, and Broderick Rice. I knew Broderick Rice from back in the day. He came to preach at our church years ago, and he was, he could preach just like he can do comedy. I didn't get that with what's this guy? John. Look, I don't know. I even forgot his name. That's what Aventer is. She forget his name. John Gray. I didn't get that, so that's why I'm like, oh God, John Gray cheats. This is boring. Like, really? Can we talk about something else? But my subscribers, you all want me to say something on this. So what I'm going to do is do what Aventer should do: is put John Gray in the back and bring her to the front and really speak to her, because I think there are many people who have questions, as well as me, about this marriage and what it does for women in your church and men in your church and what it says to them. And what I mean by what it says to them, what is your marriage displaying to people when this man has cheated on you, allegedly? Well, ain't allegedly. We've heard audio women come out and say all this type of stuff. It's been multiple times. Whether if it was physical or emotional, this man is a pastor, not a politician. He's a pastor. He's held at a different standard. And the reason why I said that is because I just did a video on former Florida gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gillum and his wife, the lovely, classy RJ Gillum, and how they did an interview a couple of weeks ago talking about how they're going to fight for their marriage. Also, how his wife knew about his intimate personal desires, that she knew what she was getting into before she got married. Now, I know some of my subscribers, because I know how y'all do on YouTube, you will watch that video and say, well, Dawson, you said something different from that than that. No, it's all pretty much all the same. But the thing with that is that this man has been cheating. To me, is cheating. Y'all may, well, this was that and that was this. Cheating is cheating. John Gray has put his wife and his children in the media with his scandals more than he has his preaching. People are looking at you, Aventer, and basically asking, why are you still there? How much is it? All the money in the world, the prestige, all the people knowing your name, going on these different talk shows, but then to put up on a facade, to be with a person who deep down inside, because you heard those audios just like we heard the audio of what he said. Is it worth it? Now, let me go on. Now, I went around and I saw many comments, and I took some of the comments that you all have written in to me about this, because people just keep writing like, man, what's wrong with you? Why won't you touch this topic? And people want to know, and I want to know, Aventer, is where is the self-worth, self-love, self-value? Where's the self-esteem? That you would be in a marriage or a relationship where a man has done this to you multiple times, and there's recorded audio out there hearing what he's saying to other women who are in the same hotel. We heard that audio, and other people who've come out. Where is the self-esteem, self-worth, and self-value? And the truth is, there is none. I think the whole thing is just for the money. People say, "Oh, Dawson, well, you gotta. The Lord want them to stick together, and you gotta stay together in the marriage for the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord." No, they're not thinking about the Lord, ma'am. They are thinking about what is lucrative. That's what these people are thinking about. You thinking about the Lord. They thinking about what is lucrative. That's why she has not left him. And then people went on to ask questions. Dawson, you know what? It's bothering me because if someone is a pastor or in a marriage, when a mother or father cheats, you are displaying to your children how a man or a woman should treat their spouse. Your children are mirroring what they see you do. You may not think they will, but they will mirror it. And people were concerned, what is his son? How is his son going to know how to treat his wife? And what is his little daughter going to expect from her husband if her mother constantly, Aventer, stays in this relationship where you allow this man to bring you and your children into embarrassing situations? Is the money, I mean, come on now. Is it, I mean, prestige and, first lady and the title to be embarrassed? And people say, oh, they're going through it. And, we just want real. We want them to be real. No, every time he mess up, they keep going to the talk show reel to try to justify what's going on. And it's become a bit redundant. We're tired of it, pretty much. And some of you also said, other questions people had is that you are also displaying, Aventer, when you stay in a relationship like this, you all are displaying to your church. Oh, I'm going to take my time on this one. You all are displaying to your church what to do when a man constantly cheats on you. This is what you're telling the women in your church. And it's almost like you're telling the single women what to expect. And some single men too, because women do it too. Women cheat as well. So when you're staying in a relationship, for the kids and for the money, come on now, you'll be well taken care of. You know that, Aventer. But what are the people in your church who really they're coming there to serve the Lord? They don't need all that extra stuff. Some people are really not going to church to get in the pastor's business and they don't want all that. They're just really there for their tradition, their belief, their faith. They want to serve God. But when people on the pulpit start messing up and things start coming down and then it spills onto the congregation, you really are setting a standard in your church and you are displaying what is acceptable in a marriage. Now, Dawson, do you think, you don't want them to get divorced, Dawson, because, they ought not get divorced. And, we don't want that. That's painful. We don't want that. That's painful. That's horrible. Well, there's some other STDs that are horrible, too. And I'm sure she don't want nothing. Y'all better leave me. Y'all know I'm the YouTuber for you. Come on. Y'all don't let's not go there with me. Not me, because I'm going to say it. I'm going to say everything everybody don't want to say because everybody wants to be trending. What about that? And again, I'm saying that because it has happened multiple times. Remember when it first happened, I didn't say anything about it. I thought, okay, the man going to get help. He going to do what he has to do. But it keeps happening every year. It's something else. Now let's go on. And someone said to me, they said, she's always, the video she did about a year or so ago when she said, and she's talked about this in other videos about talking to the kid in John Gray. The lady was talking to the boy in John Gray. John Gray is not a boy. He may get up there and he wants to act like a kid and do that comedian stuff and be it. Come on, man. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Prophetess K. Michelle told you women, and you all still don't believe it because, she's saying that worldly music, but that worldly music going to save your life and keep you going down a life of pain if you listen to it. She told you women that you can't raise a man, and some of you are college educated, you got your master's, you got your doctorate, you got your MBA, you got everything, but you still trying to raise a grown man. Wasted years, wasted time, and it's showing up in your consciousness, and it's showing up in your life, and it's showing up in your attitude, and it's showing up in the way you see the world because you chose to spend time trying to raise a man. I didn't tell you to do that. You stand there trying to raise a boy. Oh yeah, I'm gonna work with this today. You're sitting in there. Most of the time, it's the women who are going through this in church. Sitting here listening to this stuff these people tell you, oh, you got to stand by him. Oh, you got to help him out. Oh, we all, he ain't have no mama. He ain't have no daddy. She ain't have this. She ain't have that. Look, I'm sorry you didn't have. You better learn how to get something in this life. Everybody's not going to feel sorry because you didn't have a mom and a dad. Oh, Dawson, you being mean. No, I'm being real. Not that stuff the talk show you go on where they make everything all night. No, you need real stuff because life is hitting us in real areas. And we're sitting here, we got this fake stuff that we see on TV. We're trying to put that on the inside of us. And when it's time to face real things in life, you ready to go jump off a cliff. No, get off the cliff and get up under the pressure. You ain't going nowhere. You got to work on yourself. If we got to go through stuff and work on ourselves, you got to do the same thing too. Now look here. It is not your job to raise John Gray. And I know some people may say, Dawson, you being a little too hard. No, I'm not. I am tired of looking. And that's why it's called Aventer Gray and the women that stay, or the men who stay in situations like this all around the world, especially here in the United States. These stories of people who are in relationships, trying to make it work and trying to do this to keep a man, do this to keep a woman, and they just don't want to be with you. And then people, because they don't have self-worth, self-love, self-esteem, self-value, they end up wanting to leave the planet. Oh, I just don't want to be here. And some of you have been to church. Oh, and I pray, come down to the church, have a praise break, clap your hands, run around the church. Oh yeah, praise your way through, praise your way through. I'm here to tell you, some things you're going to have to research your way through. You ain't going to praise your way through. You going to Google your way through. You going to get on Google and you going to Google your way how to deal with depression, how to deal when I'm in a relationship and she doesn't want to be here or he doesn't want to be here. You are going to Google your way through. You have praised and jumped and shouted and you still in the same situation you've been in the last couple of years. Some things you're going to have to walk out yourself. The band and everybody laying hands on you and everybody coming around patting you on the back saying, oh, I'm going to pull you through. No, you're going to have to want to come through yourself. That's the season that we're in now, you all. That's where we are. Google your way through. Find out, how do I deal with depression? How do I deal with this? How do I deal with what I'm feeling? You know how to Google everything else. You know how to come down to YouTube and all these other places when you want to find out what celebrity is with this celebrity and what they're doing now and what's going on with their children and what's going on with this and their money, and you can't take care of your money. Now, if you could do that for other people you don't know who are just on television and on the internet, what more can you do for your life? If you could do that for people who you don't know and people who are on the internet, tell me, ma'am, tell me, sir, what more can you do for your own life? I'm talking about your life. Many of you place more value on these people on TV than you do your own kids, your own life, your own situation. Oh, I told you it's an illusion of inclusion. All your social media accounts to make you feel that you got it. If you don't have yourself in check, let me tell you, sir, ma'am, you don't have it. I told you I'm real over here. This is what we get over here. This is not top 100. Let's make it the trending hits. No, I ain't got time for you to be trending. You going to come over here and get taught something. Because when the pressures of life hit, you ain't looking at no trending videos. You going trying to find stuff, hopefully, that's going to pull you through. And no one has that to give you. Yeah, y'all, let me calm down a little bit. Y'all know how I get. You know, I feel good. I feel good this morning, man. I feel good. Man, and I want y'all to feel good. I want all my subscribers, even the people who view, even the ones who don't like me. It's time. We've been through too much this entire year. We don't have no more time for games. We don't have no more time for dead relationship. People who are they my friends? Are they not my friends? Do I need them? No. If you got to think like that, just let them go. Let them go. Love liberates. Let them go. It's time to let go. Let me go on to the next question that people were saying. You know, well, this is one I always tell the women, and you know, I've said this many times on my show, and I'm giving this to Aventer too, because I know in many, not just churches, in many institutions, many women, and most of the time it's women who feel like this. I'm sure there are men who feel like this too, but I'm, you know, specifically talking about the women here. And for Aventer Gray, it is not your job to fix his struggle. Take a breath. Take a break. Matter of fact, take the day off if you need to, because I'm going to say it again. It is not your job to fix his struggle or her struggle. And for you women who are in these institutions, especially religious institutions, where they tell you, and you come on, y'all have heard that before. Oh, you know, I got to stand by him, and you know, he going to fall, and you know, it's just all of this stuff. I've seen women, oh my gosh, y'all know I grew up in the church, and that's where all this come from, y'all. I've seen women who were so, oh my God, they were so talented. They had so much to offer. They were gifted. Some of them were, they excelled in school and wanted to go higher, but for the marriage, they stayed in a marriage with a person because they were married to this person. It brought them down, started taking away from them, chipping away from them. And then you see them years later, and it's not even a shell of the person you knew before. And you look like, oh my God, she was so gifted in this. She used to do this. And she stayed so committed to a person who wouldn't even give her half the commitment that she was giving him. It's not your job to fix anyone and help them with their struggle. If they got a struggle, they gonna deal with it. If they don't have any money, they gonna learn how to get it. Come on, y'all. That ain't your job. If they are brothers in the church or other people, they need to help them. Some of these people, and I'm gonna tell you the truth here. Some of these people know that in many religious institutions, they can come to church because there are always a bunch of willing women who will take anything off of anybody just to have somebody, just to have their Boaz. And they will get out of some of these people have been through so much life of crime and all this kind of stuff. And then they come to you and you're so green about things outside of the church. And you think, well, I believe the Lord is calling me to help him. And, I know he struggled, but we all got struggle too. Sometimes I struggle with my weight and, every now and then, come on. Let's not do that. Come on. Don't compare no weight struggle with some of this stuff. You may be struggling with your weight, but you pay your bills on time. Your credit not jacked up. Come on. You ain't going out here doing any and everything with everybody, and you ain't getting nothing that grandma's soap can't wash off. Can I be real? It is not your job to help him with his struggle. And I know that's not what y'all taught. Many people are taught, oh, stay in there, fight for your marriage. Oh, you to help me. Oh, you the rib. Get back in place. You his rib. Stay there. All of this stuff. I understand one time, maybe two times, but when it's every other year or every year, it's the same thing. They don't need you. They need professional help. And that's what they need to be seeking, because the problem is not you, ma'am. It's not you, sir, if you're being the person who's constantly being cheated on. The problem is your spouse. Now let's go on. Now, I know the Aventer, you have your little podcast thing, your little thing you do for pastors' wives and different women in ministry, and I think that is wonderful. But I want to know also, how long will you continue to wear the mask, live a facade, and continue to act as if everything is okay? And that when your husband had these sort of hiccups or entanglements, that seems to be a popular word these days, when he has all of this stuff going on, that just because you want to put it in, behind you and sort of forget about it, that everyone else is going to forget about it and no one will talk about it. And not just for her, for many of you who are going out there and people know what you've been through in your marriage and your relationships. They know how this person has drugged your name and your reputation through the ground because of things that they've done. How long will you continue to wear a mask? To say, oh, it's okay. Oh, we're going to be cool. And use scriptures like you're getting. Come on, man. You got to be real. This generation of people, you all are losing because you all are not transparent. You all are not real. And people do not want you. They don't want Jesus the way they see you with Jesus. That's why they don't want him. Because we don't think you got him. Look here. How many more embarrassing moments must continue to happen before you have the reality that this is not love? Before reality sits and you say to yourself, Aventer, that if this person loved me, I would not constantly be hearing women coming up saying certain things. There wouldn't be audio of him saying certain things about me, about what if he loved you. But if you don't know what love is, of course, you'll take anything off anybody to have somebody. And that goes for many of you in these churches and in these relationships. You know that's not love. It don't feel right. You got to constantly be checking people's phone. You can't even go to work because you leave the house. Let me tell it. You leave the house before he does. So you always coming in late because you leave the house on the time you tell him the time you're supposed to go to work. But you take 30 minutes to an hour to get to work because you're driving around the neighborhood or stopping at Starbucks or somewhere to a park waiting to see if somebody else going to come by. Or come on, y'all know I'm telling the truth. Come on now. Come on, we real over here. That's not love. You got in a marriage or a relationship to be a private investigator? That's too much. Now, I will even go as far as to say is that we all deserve love, respect, and loyalty. But I also will say that you won't have love, respect, and loyalty if you are not loving and you don't respect and you are not loyal to yourself. Many of us, this goes for the men and the women, you don't give it to yourself, so you don't feel you deserve it. Many of us grew up seeing dysfunctional relationships, so you feel that's what a relationship is. There are women who write me all the time. Dawson, he cheated. This happened to me. Men who tell me the same thing too. I don't tell y'all many people's stories because, some of that fuels me to do what I do. And my whole thing is, why are you still there? If it's this bad and you're writing me about it, you're writing me this master thesis about how bad it is. Look at what you wrote and you tell me, why are you still there? That's not love. That's not love. And my hope for me, for my friends, for all of the subscribers, the ones who view, is that we really learn what love is and start with ourselves before we go outside of ourselves trying to look for it in other people, in friendships, trying to build a social media image. And then people, the next thing they see, you're in some hospital because you don't. See, I want to say what I want to say, but I'm trying to be so respectful. And be real. And I've told you all before, and I'm going to end on this. And this is for you, Aventer. There's no problem. It is okay to be single. I don't care what them people tell you. Some people have dodged a bullet because they're single. Jeez. Literally, it's okay. It is okay. Don't let these people push you in marriages. And don't you men and women think this is an example of a good marriage and will stand together and sticking through it when it's happening time and time again. And your husband has been before men and women in the church, great bishops, apostles, and preachers. They all have laid hands on him. He's been on the floor, and it happens again and again and again and again and again. We're no longer looking at him. We're looking at you. Until next time, it's your guy Dawson. Go off in the comments. Please be respectful. Say whatever you want to say. But if it gets out of line, YouTube will delete your comments and, it won't get read. So please be respectful. Y'all take care of yourself and each other. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Peace.